Good evening, students. Good evening. Am I audible? Voice clear? Okay, fine. So in yesterday's lecture, some basic portion I have started. Yes? I have given also you the homework. Remember? Page number 336 to 338. I said simply read it. Line by line you have to read. So if you want to ask any question from that, if you want to ask any questions from the homework part. You want to ask any questions from the NCERT, I have said read these 3 pages and problems are given directly there. Next class will be zoology class, right? Next will be Anurag sir will take the lecture. Now chemistry lecture. Bolo, bolo. In the homework, you want to ask any questions? ठीक है. One question is methanol, other is bond notation. Yes, single bond I have said. Today I will explain for double bond. So that means step by step we will proceed. Okay. In methanol, if I say it is CH3OH. CH3OH, if I want to write as per bond line notation, 1 carbon is there. Take. Then OH, if you write it like this also, it also means CH3OH. This is carbon, other end oxygen which is bonded to OH, that represents alcohol. So you can also write this, but rarely you will get this structure. Why? Because methanol is 1 carbon containing. Methanol is 1 carbon containing. So you will not get any structure like this. But if it is given, we can read it. Yes, it is methanol. Then for double bond, if I write, check this one, CH3CH double bond, CH3. Here, 2 possibilities are there. 2 possibilities. One possibility, you write it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take double bond carbon is first, second, third, fourth. Double bond between second and third. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is clear? 2, 3. Other way. It is also possible like this. This is first, second, third, fourth. If I am writing structure in this manner, that means 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbon. It is the structure CH3, CH2, CH double bond, CH2. Bolo. Getting it? ठीक. Now, if you want to ask any question you want to ask. In bond line notation, it is for double bond. One question is asked by the student, which is 12.6. 12.6 may, again repeat that one. Which question number? 12.6, I think. 12.6 may C. Before the C. This is clear. Another example, if I give in terms of triple bond, CH3C triple bond CH. How many carbons? 3. So it can be written in this manner. Now, this is first carbon. This is second carbon. This is third carbon. First carbon, second carbon, third carbon. CH3, C triple bond with other carbon, C triple bond with other carbon. Because in bond line notation, what is not given? Carbon and hydrogen, they are not written. Clear? Then other example, if I write in this manner. CH3, C triple bond C, then CH3. Getting it? So if this bond line notation is given, you will say how many carbons are there? 4 carbons are there. Yes, you can write it like this. Now it is clear. The student who has a doubt in double bond and triple bond, I think by this example, it will be much clearer now that bond line notation, if given, you will be able to write down the structure properly. Good, very good, very good. So by solving the NCRT, by solving the NCRT, you will find that whatever you are writing, it is purely, you can easily find the questions from NCRT or NEET level. If you can try more questions, but beyond it, no need to do. Okay, I'll give more example for triple bond, which is given. Okay, if you have the NCRT book, how many of you have done the NCRT book? How many of you have done the NCRT book homework? 336 to 338. Very good, very good. Question number 12.6 may C. On page number, it is 337. Yes, 12.6 may, third one. Structure given in this manner. Now identify it, carbon chain. First carbon here, second, third, fourth, fifth. So if this is the structure given, will you be able to write the structure properly? Yes, it's very easy. Yes, try to write it, then I'll write. Firstly, you write it, then I'll write the answer. Check karo. Check karo. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many getting that correct? You can cross check. Whatever I'm writing, you can cross check with yourself that it is correct or not. Okay. Try this last question, then we can proceed further because important things are there. Iupac nomenclature. Written. It is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. When you write it, you have to write 6 carbons, CH3, C triple bond C, CH2, CH double bond CH2. CH3, C triple bond C, CH2, CH double bond CH2. Cross check 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then CH double bond CH2. I hope people are getting it. Now, shall I proceed further? Leave this part of bond line notation. ठीक है? And with examples, when I will give for Iupac nomenclature examples, then I will use bond line notation. ठीक है? These are functional groups. If I write here OH, it's a functional group. Which functional group? Alcohol. ठीक? If you want to ask any question, suppose I am marking this as 1, 2, 3. In these 3, if you want to ask any question. We will do Iupac. Wait for that. We'll do Iupac. Before example 3. This one you are saying second. Example 1. Example 1 is triple bond. Starting point is carbon in this manner. If you have a doubt in first one, this is carbon triple bond. It is another carbon second. Further carbon CH2. Further carbon with OH. That is the structure. Anything is possible. It is given in NCERT. It is given in NCERT. Double bond, triple bond. They both are unsaturated. Double bond, triple bond. They both are unsaturated compounds. OH means alcohol group. You can write here CHO also. But in the NCERT problem 12.6, it is given OH. So you can write OH directly. ठीक है? Now next is keep on writing everything in the notebook. After the class, you have to read it, then read NCERT. It's not like that class is given, you are not paying attention after the classes. Be consistent with your work. Consistency is the key to success. Maintain this part. Now we talk about degree. Write down in the notes degree of carbon and hydrogen. Degree of carbon and hydrogen. Primary carbon. Primary carbon, or it is represented by 1 with degree. Primary carbon or 1 with degree. It means carbon bonded to one other carbon. That is the meaning of which degree carbon? Primary carbon. If carbon is bonded to one other carbon, it is termed as which degree carbon? Primary carbon. Then next one is secondary. If primary carbon means carbon bonded to one other carbon, then secondary means the carbon bonded to two other carbon is secondary carbon. So carbon bonded to two other carbons. Example I will write at the end. First, write the theoretical points. ठीक है, this is the secondary carbon means carbon bonded to two other carbons. Primary carbon, carbon bonded to one other carbon. Then third, you write it tertiary carbon. Tertiary carbon means carbon bonded to. These all terms we are going to use in the nomenclature. So that time it will be easier for you. That time will be easier for you to solve the question because basic part we have completed. Then you can easily relate. The students who have not joined, might be they will find difficulty, but you will get the on the Sri Gosalites site, you will get the, I think videos are also available. You can watch them later on. Tertiary carbon means carbon bonded to four other carbons. Sorry, tertiary means to three other carbons. Quaternary carbon. Quaternary means what? It means what's the meaning? Quaternary means the carbon bonded to four other carbons. It is termed as which carbon? Quaternary carbon. Tertiary means carbon bonded to three other carbons. Secondary means carbon bonded to two other carbons. Primary means carbon bonded to one other carbon. Example, now I'll write it. Written up to secondary. Acha, this is what? This is the degree of carbon. If the question is degree of hydrogen, whatever is the degree of carbon will be the degree of its hydrogen. Whatever is the degree of carbon will be degree of its hydrogen. Theoretical points clear? Theoretical points. अब देखो, in this hydrocarbon, if you have to mark the degree of each carbon, check one by one. I am starting from the left one. Left carbon is bonded to how many carbon? 1. It is which degree carbon? Primary. This carbon CH2, it is bonded to how many carbons? 2. Right side carbon, left side carbon, it is secondary. Take next carbon CH2, left side, right side, connected to 2 other carbons, again secondary. Then this carbon CH, it is bonded to 3 other carbons. Left side carbon, right side carbon, and another is carbon. This is tertiary and this is primary. So if the question is how many, question is number of primary carbons, write down. Number of secondary carbons, write down. Number of tertiary carbons, write down. And keep on working simultaneously. Do not think that I'll copy it. If you try it on your own, then you will get easily. How many primary carbons? 1, 2. Because these 2 carbons are bonded to one carbon. It is bonded to right side, it is bonded to left side. So how many primary carbons are there? 2. This one is also primary. That means answer will be, here it is 3, which is 1, 2, and 3. Now check for secondary carbon. How many secondary are there? 2. How many tertiary? 1. Check karo answer. 3, 2, 1. Very good. Very good. Now count the primary hydrogens. How many primary hydrogens are there? This is primary carbon. Whatever is the degree of carbon will be degree of its hydrogen. Primary hydrogens how many? 3. Plus 3, 6. Plus 3, 9. So how many they are? These are 9 primary hydrogens. Secondary CH2, 2 hydrogens plus 2, that is 4. How many tertiary hydrogens? Only 1. So whenever you try any question, generally organic chemistry, firstly remember theoretical portion should be clear. Theoretical portion. If theoretical portion is not clear, then no use of solving the examples. Firstly, always learn the theory part, recall it 2 to 3 times, and then you can try the example. Okay? In this example clear, I am writing one more. If you have a doubt, you can ask, or otherwise after the class, this will be uploaded on the site. You can check that one and you can again try, but keep your notebook ready. Acha, can I give the bond line notation? You can try with bond line notation. Because these two carbons are secondary. This carbon is bonded to two other carbons, secondary carbon definition. Read the meaning of secondary carbon. And another one is also bonded to two other carbon. It is again secondary. So read the theory part. Primary carbon means carbon bonded to one other carbon. So that is why 1, 2, 3. If this carbon bonded to one other, this carbon bonded to one other, this carbon bonded to one other. Okay, read the definition, then this example try. Another example I am writing. Those who are getting it, they can try fast. ठीक है. I am writing the answer. Check करो. Here, I am writing the answer. Check karo one by one. This is primary. Why? This carbon bonded to one other carbon. This is also primary. But this is tertiary. This is bonded to two other secondary. Then it is primary, it is primary, it is primary. This carbon bonded to four other carbons. So it is quaternary carbon. Checking. So if I write here again, number of primary carbons, then secondary, then tertiary. How many primary? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check karo answer. Primary carbon 5, secondary only 1, tertiary only 1, and quaternary only 1. Those who are getting it right, very good. Take. If the question is how many tertiary hydrogens, then answer will be only 1. How many primary hydrogens? So 5 into 3, 18. But you have to think about it. I'm just giving you answer. Don't believe in just copying the things. When you have done some theoretical part, then take the hint and move ahead. Go ahead. Already we have done bond line notation. So I'm writing the bond line. You can write it in the normal carbon chain also. Take. Any other point you want to ask? Those students who are trying it, they can ask. Hydrogen, whatever is the carbon here, CH3, how many primary carbon? 5. 5 into 3, 15. Why? Because if you write the structure for this carbon, if I write it, it will be, check karo answer if I am writing the normal carbon chain structure. CH3, CH3, CH, CH2. ठीक है, check करो. You can again listen to the video where it is bond line notation is explained. Okay, if I repeat it again, that same topic I cannot repeat. So better is go for the video later on, watch it, keep your notebook ready. Clear now? Structure is written. Now try next one. I am marking the carbons. Primary, 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 primary. It is tertiary, it is secondary, it is secondary, and it is again tertiary. If I write the carbon chain, you can cross check it. Check here. Tertiary hydrogen will be one in first one. Why? Only one tertiary carbon. One tertiary carbon means one hydrogen. Quaternary hydrogen never there. Why? In quaternary carbon, carbon is bonded to 4 other carbons. Those who are getting all correct, very good. These are the basic terminology. If you get it, it's very fine. Take second example may I have already written. Now check your answer. Primary carbons, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Secondary carbons, 1, 2. And tertiary carbon also 2. Those who are not getting, quickly read the theoretical part written above. Take. Now I am writing the ring structure. Generally, we use these terms for saturated chain. Generally. So whenever you get the example, it is mostly saturated carbon chain. In this example, suppose I am writing this structure. Try first. In this case, whenever degree of hydrogen is there, whatever degree of carbon, same will be the degree of hydrogen. For example, how many primary carbons are there? 4. CH3, 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 CH3. How many hydrogen? 4 into 3, 12. Simple. How many secondary carbons? 2. Hydrogen, 2 plus 2, 4. Tertiary carbon, 2. Each contains 1 hydrogen. So whatever is the degree of carbon will be the degree of its hydrogen. And quaternary carbon has no hydrogen. Now marking it, check karo. Primary carbon, this is tertiary, and remaining all are secondary. ठीक. So primary carbons are only 1. Secondary carbons how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. कितने? 5. And tertiary carbon is 1. Already theoretical, it is written above. Primary carbon means what? Tertiary means what? Just read it once. Second example may which part? Primary, secondary, tertiary. Degree of hydrogen is same whatever is the degree of carbon. How many primary hydrogens? Listen carefully. Now we use earphones for the class. If you are not listening carefully, what's the use of lecture? Go and sleep. Why to waste time? Time is most important thing we all have. If you utilize it to the good, you will get the results. If you are utilizing it for the bad, each thing has its impact. So those who are doing some productive work, you will see the positivity in yourself. And those who are doing anything negative, it won't matter for me or any other. They're doing wrong for themselves. Every year, thousands of students are coming. So here, how many primary hydrogens? CH3. It is 3 here. How many secondary hydrogens? How many secondary carbon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each has 2 hydrogens. 5 into 2, 10. Tertiary hydrogen, Only one, because tertiary bonded to 3 other carbons. These are basic terms. When you read the Iupac nomenclature, sometimes you get the secondary, tertiary butyl, tertiary butyl. These terms will be used. That time you will relate what is the meaning of secondary, tertiary. These terms you will relate that time. ठीक है? One last example. Only mark the degree of carbon and mention degree of carbon, how many are there. Naming we will done. Naming we will do separately. So do not worry about the naming part, because we are discussing only the degree of carbon and hydrogen. Those students who are doing it fast, very good. Keep it up. I'm writing the answer. Check your answers. This carbon bonded to 3 other, tertiary. This is also primary. It is bonded to 4 other carbons, quaternary. It is bonded to 3 other carbons, tertiary. It is bonded to 3 other, tertiary. It is primary. Take, if I ask counting of the carbons, how many primary? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Secondary carbons, only 1 carbon. Tertiary, 1, 2, 3. And quaternary, only 1. And whatever is the degree of carbon will be the degree of its hydrogen. So if the question is how many primary hydrogens, you will simply multiply it with 3, you will get 15. Secondary means it is bonded to 2 other carbons, only 1, that means 2 secondary hydrogens, which is CH2. If it is tertiary, how many? 3. Each tertiary has 1 hydrogen, so answer will be 3 tertiary hydrogens. And how many quaternary hydrogens? Answer is 0. बोलो, ये सब समझ में आया? These are purely basic terms which you will use directly in the nomenclature. ठीक है? Shall I proceed further? चलो, अब बात करेंगे. Now we'll discuss about the IUPAC nomenclature. Iupac nomenclature, full form is International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So when you read it, for your information, you should know the full form. In NCERT, when you read, you have to underline for the sake of that, yes, I am reading line by line. And your target is what? I will read each and every line of NCERT. Even if you find summary given at the end, yes, I'll read it. Clear that point? You will not skip any line of NCERT. Make this habit. And with time, you will find that your reading speed is increased, because in exam, lot of students, they are conceptually very sound, conceptually very good, intelligent also. But the comprehending or reading part is very weak. So they take more time in reading, more time in understanding it. So make this habit at home. You are now you are there at home. So whenever you read the newspaper, you can read it. Try to read 1 paragraph and then quickly try to extract the information. I'll tell which chapter you have to read. It is class 11th part 2 by NCERT book also. Download also, sometimes you can refer in the downloading form. Best is the hard copy to read. Class 11th, part 2, chapter number 12. Some basic principles and techniques. Part 2. International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. No need to write any formula in the notes. Just I'm saying this. When you read it, simply mark from the NCERT. Which thing you have to write, I'll say. Now, in the Iupac nomenclature, why we require Iupac nomenclature? Because in we have the compounds. In every country, if they start naming the compound individually, it will be very difficult. Yes. So there is an international body which decides the common naming for all the compounds by giving some particular rules. Okay. So that rules we follow, and every year, if I say a compound is methanol, you are in India, China, Russia, America, you will easily understand it is methanol means CH3OH. Why? Because we have learned a international nomenclature or a common language we are using in the form of IUPAC nomenclature. In NCERT, the students who want to read, they can read. Yesterday I have shown the book you have to download, but buy the hard copy also, class 11th. Okay, part 2. And it is which chapter? Chapter number name is Some Basic Principles and Techniques. I'll give you the as per soft copy. In the soft copy, it is chapter number 12. Some Basic Principles and Techniques. So this you can start, and whichever page I will say, yesterday I have given the homework, same way I'll say read which part. Fine? Yeah. Okay. Part 2. Buy both the parts of class 11th, part 1 as well as part 2, and also download it. Okay. If you have last year book, no problem. If your elder brother, sister are there, from their book, take it. No changes are there. Very minute change, very minute. If they are, otherwise you can take it directly. If they have already marked it, then no need to take, because you have to read on your own. You have to add your own point or highlight your own point. Clear? So buy the books. If it is not up to the in a good condition, buy new books. ठीक है, start करें IUPAC nomenclature. The students who have the book, shall we start? चलो. Starting में, what's the sequence of naming? So sequence of naming is you read it from this side or this side. SPWPS. SPWPS means this is secondary prefix. Secondary term, secondary prefix. Then P for primary prefix. W is word root, or you can say root word. Then primary suffix, and then secondary suffix. Okay, right? Try to write it fast. Written. So in this sequence, we will write the naming. Firstly, which part will come? Prefix. Prefix means firstly we are starting with this component, then word root, then part will be suffix. Now what is the meaning of secondary prefix? Write down. Secondary prefix represents what it represents. It represents branching or substituents. First part is always, remember, theoretical part we should do. Then with example, you will be able to understand the written theoretical part. So no need to get worried or getting confused because examples we are going to do. But focus on the learning of the theoretical points. So secondary prefix means it represents branching or substituents in the parent chain, because parent chain we have to select. How to select? That part will be in the example. ठीक है, देखो secondary prefix का मतलब it represents branching or substituents in the parent chain which we have selected. How to select that I will tell. Primary prefix, it is used for cyclic compounds. Primary prefix is used for cyclic compounds, and what is used? Cyclo word is used. Now those students who have done somewhat in class 10th the nomenclature, they know cyclopropane, cyclobutane, cyclopentane, cyclohexane. This cyclo term is what? Primary prefix. So now when you do the example, then you will start relating it. But how it relates, that part is possible to be related if you have learned the theoretical points. So always remember, your focus is whatever points are given, I learned them well, I'll recall them multiple times, 5 times I'll recall. And then when examples are done, you directly use the learning portion in the examples. Take. So these two terms clear. Secondary prefix, branching or substituents in the parent chain. Primary prefix used for cyclic compound, and what is used? Cyclo word is used. Then root word or word root. What is the meaning? It represents number of carbon atoms in the parent chain or main chain. So word root represents what? Number of carbon atoms in the main chain. Main chain means parent chain. Then suffix, primary suffix. Tell, what is the meaning of primary suffix? Those who have done in class 10th, they can try. Primary suffix represents what? Primary suffix represents, try kiya? Now, it represents saturation or unsaturation in parent chain. It represents in the parent chain, is it saturated or unsaturated? Example, ane, ene, diene, triene, ine, diene, etc. If it is a saturated carbon chain, that means what is used? Only ane, like only single carbon bond. Carbon-carbon bond, all single, it is ane. That's why if you say butane, so ane means primary suffix. Take. If it is ene, now take the example butene. In butene, ene is which term? it is the primary suffix term. Parent chain, the chain which we select, that contains the carbon atom. So this is the number of carbon atoms present in the parent chain. That is the meaning of root word. And how to select the parent chain, that I will tell as per the example. As per the example, we have to check the what is the parent chain, main chain which we select. Okay, simple example. Have you heard of butane? Have you heard of butane? अब butane में देखो. Now we can bifurcate it. Butane. But means 4 carbons. That means it is word root. That is the indication. But means word root. But. And ane means what? It is primary suffix. So now with example, you will yourself say, yes, I can relate now, because that is how sequence is followed. Prefix, root word or word root, and then suffix. Okay? If I say pentane, in pentane, now you can relate. Pent is a word root. How many carbon? Pent means 5. So this is word root and ane is a primary suffix. So theoretical points are yet to be completed. Keep on writing it. And then you can comprehend it easily. That is how theoretical portion you have to write. Okay? Prefix is not there. Prefix means if branching or substituents. No prefix. In butane, no prefix. Directly root word. If prefix is not there, we cannot write. Leave it. Pentane, no prefix. Word root means the total number of carbon atoms present in the parent chain. Parent chain, if it is pentane, how many? 5. If it is butane, how many? 4. If it is propane, how many? 3. Then next is which suffix? Secondary. Secondary suffix means it represents functional group present in the parent chain. It represents functional group present in the parent chain or main chain. Okay? Functional group means what? Suppose you remember the example methanol. OH is a functional group. Why? Functional group means that atom or group which decides the chemical properties of that molecule. Simple. If carboxylic acid is there, COOH. If this is present, we will say it is a carboxylic acid functional group, because it will show the chemical reactions or chemical behavior of carboxylic group. Written. Examples will be there, but firstly write down the theoretical points. Without theoretical points, writing examples won't be possible. And learn these points. Yes, very good. Oic acid is used for carboxylic acid. Okay, again, listen. Functional group means what? Listen carefully, because this definition is given in NCERT. After class, you have to read that one also. I don't want that you only write the things. Listen carefully, write it down also. After the class, you have to read NCERT line by line. So functional group means what? It is either atom or group of atoms, which mainly decides the chemical properties of the molecule. Which mainly decides the chemical properties of the molecule. So after the class, you have to read that word, functional group given there. ठीक, आगे बढ़े. Return that sequence. बोलो, लिख लिया? हाँ, I will tell which functional groups. Table is also given. I'll say the page number. ठीक है. If the students see yesterday what happened, I have minimized it and that screen was not there, so I won't take a chance. If you have the NCERT book, best thing is right now I will tell. Best thing is right now I will tell which page number, you can also go through it. Okay, ready? Page number I am saying. Page number you can go through 340. Okay, those students who have the book, you can go through the page number 340, NCERT part 2 class 11, and it is 12.5 is the topic here, which is nomenclature of organic compounds. ठीक, 12.5 from page 340, then you can 341, 2, 3, and then it's up to you how much you can read it. ठीक है, it's up. I'm telling you which up to which page you can read. Up to your reading point, I'm just saying up to you. 340 say 348. ठीक है, which page? 342, 348. Which point, which subtopic given from 12.5? ठीक, चलो. Slowly read 1 or 2 pages. Not all possible, because not all possible to be completed today. I'm just giving you a brief idea. These pages you have to read with line by line. Some points maybe more in the notes you will get, but reading of NCERT is must. ठीक है, चलो. Now write down the secondary prefix. As per Iupac nomenclature, some groups are always treated as per Iupac nomenclature, some groups are always treated as secondary prefixes or secondary prefix. Example, alkyl groups. Which groups? Alkyl groups. Like CH3, like C2H5. Alkyl groups are represented by general term is R, alkyl group. CH3, if it is not part of parent chain, CH3 is methyl. C2H5, ethyl. So I will, when I write the further information, then you will understand, but right now copy it. Alkyl group, which is not part of the parent chain, the carbon chain which is left out, it is termed as alkyl group. It can be CH3, C2H5, C3H7. Which groups? Alkyl. As per nomenclature, we will always consider them as secondary prefix. It's a systematic preparation. Na? Understand, when you write everything regularly, that is what is systematic preparation. You cannot jump one day suddenly and you start working on. It will be very difficult. Class 11th and 12th. So regularity, consistently, very organized, well disciplined part is very much important. That will surely give you edge over the other students who are irregular, who are intelligent, but they are not maintaining the notes properly. So you will find with time that class 11th and 12th, it's all about how systematic you are, how with regularly, how you are working, completing your homework. These are simple things, but it takes big effort to complete the task. A lot of students, they are intelligent, but they are not working hard. They start losing the marks. Second, alkyl groups always secondary prefix. Then halogens. Halo groups. Halo means halogens or halo groups: fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. FCl, Bri. If they are written in the carbon chain, we always consider them as prefix. Which prefix? Secondary prefix. Okay? And their name will be fluoro, chloro, bromo, iodo. That's why hello I have written. Okay? Which are treated as prefix? Alkyl groups, yes. Halo groups are also treated as prefix. Then third, after halogens, next you can write NO2 group, which is termed as, what's the name? Nitro group. As per Iupac naming, NO2 group, if present in the carbon chain, always considered as prefix. Okay? So first alkyl, second halogens. Halogens are written in the form of halo, fluoro or chloro or bromo or iodo. Third, nitro group, NO2. I am writing only those groups which are useful. If you read the books, several books give so many other examples. You never use them. So at the beginning of the lecture, I said, always know what things you have to read, and main thing is what you don't have to read, what you have to quickly leave it. So always be well relevant with the syllabus. Next is which group? Ethers, alkoxy group, OR. These are ethers, so alkoxy group. These are also termed as always prefixes. Maybe R can be CH3, or it can be C2H5 or C3H7, etc. Keep on writing the theory, whether you are getting it or not. Your concern is, I'll not miss any point. These will be covered with the examples in detail. Written? It is completed, copied. Yeah, these are all secondary prefixes. How many written? 4. Alkyl, halogens, nitro, alkoxy group. These are all considered as only prefix. And what is the meaning of prefix? Branching or substituent which is present in the parent chain. Okay? Everything will be covered in a systematic manner, but keep on writing it. Do not jump here and there, otherwise you will mess up. You will yourself confused. Then you will put here the so many questions. Write it down properly. Suffix means when you are writing the name, the ending part is termed as suffix. How many types are there? 2. ठीक है, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Next part is the secondary suffix I have said. Sorry, secondary prefix I said. Primary already cyclic term is used, cyclo is there, root word. In the word root, word root is, it represents number of carbon atoms in parent chain or main chain. So what is used? The point is what we use for root word. If only one carbon, it is termed as myth. Already you all know, still write it. Do not think I know. When you are writing it, write down completely. If I leave it, you still have to write it. Generally use up to 10th or 9th, but okay, write it down. If one carbon in the parent chain, what is the root word? Myth. If 2 carbons in the parent chain, what's the root word? Ith. If you have the NCERT book, you can open that one, and these are given there in the table also. If you have the NCERT book, I'll tell which table number on which page. It is given on page number 341. ठीक है, 341, and here they have given it full name, not written separately, but understand it is myth ith probe. ठीक है, table is 12.2. I am also writing it, you can cross check. Third, 3 means probe. If there are 3 carbons in the parent chain, you will write the term probe. 4 carbons in the parent chain, but. 5 carbons in the parent chain, pent. 6 carbon, hex. 7 carbons, hept. 8 carbon, oct. 9 carbon in parent chain, non. 10 carbon, dec. 11 carbon, undec. 12 carbon, dodec. More required, no need to require more. In NCERT, whichever given, add more. 30, C30 given, just add them in the notes if you want. Otherwise, simply mark them. ठीक है, तो रूट वर्ड में 1 carbon, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 written, the root word will be like this. प्राइमरी सफिक्स में सैचुरेटेड और unsaturated. Saturated means no double bond or triple bond. That's why what is used in. Unsaturated में possibility in or ine, diene, diine, depending upon double bond is there or triple bond. ठीक है, suffix saturated carbon chain, propane, carbon carbon single bond, ene. Propene, carbon carbon double bond, that's why ene is used. Ene is primary suffix. Then secondary suffix. It is used for functional groups in the parent chain. Which functional group is present in the parent chain, that when we write it, it is coming under suffix. So what are the functional groups given in NCERT? Write down. It is given, I'll say the page number also, but first you write it. X here is halogen, maybe FClBrI. I am writing in directly decreasing order, right? Because we have to learn ultimately. So better is write down here. It is seniority order of the groups. I'll say the page number, firstly write it. Seniority order of the functional groups. Carboxylic is senior most among them. ठीक है, that will be very useful in the functional groups. Senior most carboxylic, sulfonic acid, ester, acid halide, acid amide, cyanide, aldehyde, ketone, alcohol, thiol, amine. ठीक है, now I'm telling the page number which you should refer it. Surely you should read it also after the class. It is given on the page number 344. In NCERT, page number 344, and it is given in the first column itself, in the third paragraph, the order of decreasing priority for some functional groups. Carboxylic, SO3H, ester, COCl written, I have written X, means halide, Cl, Br, whatever. Then amide, cyanide, CHO, aldehyde, ketone, alcohol. In NCERT, SH is not given, thiol is not written, but if you forget it, it's no problem, but it is there, and then amine. After that, it is given alkene, alkyne, that we will deal separately. Okay, next class may, till next class, try to write it at least 5 to 6 times. Learn it, sequence, write it, then after some time, 5, 15, 20 minutes, again recall it, recall 5 to 10 times, 10 times recall, then write it down at least 5, 6 times. Okay? In that sequence, we have to remember the priority order is maximum for carboxylic and least among them is NH2. What is the name? On the next page, 345, table is given. Check it on the page 345. Table is given. Some functional groups and classes of organic compounds. You can see again they are written with their prefix and suffix. That part we will do in the class. No need to worry, but yes, it is there in NCERT, so you can read it after the class. Up to this point, copied. Names also. ठीक है. I am writing the names also. This is which group? Carboxylic acid. It is sulfonic acid. I am writing it. Those who want, they can write it. It's, if you remember, it's fine. If you do not remember, then you should write it. ठीक है. Shall I repeat it or you are getting it? Syllabus will be shared in the groups. Whatever is covered in the class will be there in the syllabus. Very simple. Any point you want to ask? Ether, remember secondary prefix, what was written? Alkoxy group. Ethers are, as per Iupac nomenclature, are always treated, as per nomenclature, are treated as prefix. Already you have written. Cross check with the notes. It is written above. Alkoxy means ethers. ठीक है. Thiol is HH. OH का भाई SH. Oxygen, alcohol, sulfur, and H, it is thiol. It is SH. Take ketone, this one. Both side R group, carbon chain. both side carbon chain, R here, R here. ठीक है, up to this point you have to read it. Read it, examples will be given, then reading part you will have to relate it. It's not about 1 day or 2 day effort, and now it will be a long journey. QR कोड में कहां से मिलेगा भाई? QR कोड किथे गया? ये रहा। मिल गया? डन? अब देखो, इन दी नेक्स्ट लेक्चर आई हैव गिवन यू बेसिक्स, ठीक है? Because basic initial part was start Iupac nomenclature, but I realized in the first lecture lot of students, they are not maybe able to recall the points of Iupac, or they have not done. So that's why I have given 2 lectures for minimum basics required in the nomenclature. So today I have given you overlook, sequence given, prefix, root word and suffix. Now in the next lecture we will start actual naming, which is nomenclature of alkanes. Nomenclature of alkanes. ठीक है? If I will start today again, see that some points will be given. ठीक है? Then it will be difficult for you to comprehend today. So better I think is, if it's up to you. If you want, I can give you some points today or in the next lecture. Shall we start fresh tomorrow? Nomenclature of alkanes. Because points will be given and examples will be possible tomorrow. So what to say? Start fresh tomorrow for nomenclature, or it will be little bit, maybe you will find difficult today. But I'll start tomorrow. But before that, I expect you will read all this. You have recalled them at least 10 times. Mentally recall. Close your eyes, recall this. Write the sequence at least 5-6 times. Work has to be done by you. Efforts has to be there. It's not like I am putting the effort, writing everything. Otherwise, I'll share the slides. I'll say this is the content, NCERT book, ticket, go ahead. Yes or no? Possible for me? Because it's a gift program. So effort has to be there from your side. ठीक है? Done? पक्का? अरे you can download easily NCERT book. Go for the Google. ओए बच गया. चलो तो ठीक है. Next class, remind me if I forget anything. Sequence will be nomenclature of alkanes. I will start. QR code, okay. चलो, in the next class we'll meet. तब तक के लिए enjoy at home and simultaneously work hard, recall the points. ठीक है? Take care. Bye. Next class we'll meet.